Hello, friends. Thank you for joining us. My name is Joel, and this is the O2 Drop. You're listening to your favourite made-for-adults Pokemon VGC podcast, coming from Perth, the most isolated capital city on the planet, and the home of Chris.
90% of O2 Drop is here, according to Scoot Easy.
Apparently. And Mr. Marcus Murray.
Hello, that's me.
It is. How are we doing this week, gents?
Well, it's a Monday, and that's never a good day because that means it's the first day back at work.
It is.
And I have a job, in case anyone doesn't realize that listens to this podcast. I play Pokemon and have a job.
There's a long weekend coming up, though.
It's never enough of them.
Honestly, yeah. I mowed my lawn on Sunday. Whoop whoop. And then in the evening, my ankle was incredibly sore. It's like I rolled my ankle, but at no point while I was doing yard work and then subsequent housework do I remember rolling my ankle. So just I'm so old now that when I do physical labor, I get aches and pains.
So this is the start.
So it's over.
This is the start of our podcast episode. It's just you with some lame ankle injury that you don't even know how you got.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Well, I hope you're all entertained listening.
Mark, how about you? You're on that calorie counting train?
Yeah, I have downloaded an app where I put in my meals and it tells me if I've consumed enough or if I've consumed too many calories. I've been over pretty much every night because it's got three metrics that it counts as well as total calories. It's carbohydrates, fat, and protein.
Yeah, those macros.
Basically every day I've been over for my fat content.
Nice.
And that's mostly because for most of last week I was cooking and eating creamy chicken pasta.
Nice.
With cream, bacon, Parmesan cheese, chicken thigh.
Huge.
So good. Some sun-dried tomatoes in there as well, but obviously those aren't contributing that much to the fat content. Although the oil that they're stored in probably doesn't help.
No, but what a good week.
Oh, so tasty. Still under for total calories as well, so we take those.
I was going to say, if your fats are high but your carbs are low, people would say that's a win.
We take those, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the main thing I've been doing is drinking sugar-free beverages, which has done wonders for my carbohydrate intake.
Yeah.
Need to go get my sugars tested again because last time I got tested, I was on the higher end of normal.
Yeah.
So
I feel
go see if that's been fixed at all.
I am due a blood test in 3 months. Chris, how's WrestleMania for you? Without any spoilers, because Mark hasn't consumed it yet.
Consumed it? He hasn't been sports entertained?
I have not been sports entertained yet.
I literally just finished watching Night 2 and I've had to be on it's very hard to prepare for a podcast episode not being able to look at Twitter for 3 days. But I've caught up to WrestleMania and I was underwhelmed as an overall thought on the whole 2-night spectacle.
Yeah.
I was not blown away. But it's still entertaining to an extent.
Yeah. I mean, there's paint drying and then there's an underwhelming WrestleMania.
And just below paint drying is this incredibly tedious preamble we've had for this.
It is. Yeah. It is.
And below that is playing Reg I for Melbourne.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Suckers.
I was going to say, when this episode drops, we will be 2 days away from the Prague Pokemon Regional Championships, which will be held in Prague.
Wow.
Crazy.
What country is that in?
Is Prague Spain? No. No, I don't know. I don't know Europe
It's in
very
the Czech
well.
Republic.
It is in the Czech Republic.
Czechy.
Very beautiful city too.
I've heard it's very nice. It's on my bucket list.
Yeah, the picture that they have of Prague is multiple statues in a church by the looks of it.
Oh, yeah, I've heard it's gorgeous.
You know what? If I had opened that earlier, I would have seen Czechia or whatever they call themselves in their native language. That is unfortunately going to be in Reg I.
Yeah, I mean, every regional up until Melbourne will be Reg I, and then as soon as we are done, running that format into the fucking ground, then the people after us get to play Champions. And you know what? I'm not overly envious of them because Champions is fun. It's nice to do something new. They're going to have bumps and hiccups and snags and problems for days.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to run into so many issues. The judges are going to have a fucked time of it.
Yeah, agreed.
I think as someone who was doing a bit of casting for the OCE VGC exhibition match or exhibition stream that was done over the weekend.
Where was my invite? If you guys are listening. Harry Masto.
There was the top 10 players.
It was organised by Lewis Tan and Andy Brophy, and I believe they put good players on.
Lewis Tan and Andy Brophy.
Get fucked, nerd.
Thanks, Joel.
How dare they?
You should edit that so it actually sounds like you did it in a timely manner.
I
will.
I may not have the results on paper, but I make up for it in other ways.
Okay. But we didn't put any of the players on camera, so there was no point having you there.
So they didn't have the pretty players on camera?
No, just the good ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, trying to cast for champions, there were snags we ran into. One of them was, according to the spectator mode, one of the players had run out of time. But according to the player, he still had an extra 40 seconds left of my time.
Interesting.
So that was, and we were shouting that out. We're just like, oh, he's going to be having to be locking his moves in quick. And it looks like he's right on the cusp. But then turns out there was actually a bit more time than that. So that was a problem.
I wonder if that was a communication over distance issue.
No, it wasn't like a lag thing.
Okay.
It was like there was a timer there.
Yeah, I've seen the timer.
And like the game was at the same place. Because for the last two turns, are both at zero. Like it was at 0 seconds. It was like, oh, is he just going to lose? And then
Played out
he goes to another turn and was like, wow, he must have locked his moves quick.
Yeah.
But apparently there was a little bit more time. So I don't know everything about that, but that was one issue. So I also don't overly envy the casters having to try to figure out this new thing. The caster team, shout out to whoever's doing all the behind the scenes work for the casting at something or other. What's the regionals after Melbourne, which will be the first?
It's Los Angeles.
That's one.
And I think on the same weekend it's Indianapolis and Lima are on.
Indianapolis. Okay, yes.
So Lima is a weekend before Indianapolis. So
same weekend as us.
Yep. Yeah, so we have Indy and then Turin and then NAIC.
What country's Turin in, Joel? Don't. You're scrolling to try to find it.
No, I'm trying to get clues from the picture.
Oh, okay. Chris, I assume you know where Turin is.
Is Turin's Italy, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Correct. The Shroud of Turin with Jesus' face on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's nothing special. My grandma's got a tea towel with Jesus' face on it. And
I made a slice of toast with Jesus' face on it.
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Nice.
Father, Son, and the Holy Toast. Sorry. Anyway, where was I?
Another awkward
The
preamble
casting
at the start
team,
of the episode, yep.
the tech team, the ones behind the scenes setting up the casting.
Yeah.
They're going to have their work cut out for them trying to figure out how to best do spectator mode, get all that sorted out. So I want to shout them out because once again, the behind the scenes people in the casting are criminally under-supported, under-acknowledged, underappreciated is the word I was looking for.
Recognized.
Shout out to PvP Steve.
Yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to Jack Buckley. I don't know, I only ever call him by his last name. But the people who do the work on the Australian VGC streams, doing God's work. And I imagine those people over in the US will have a very hard time trying to get champions set up.
Yeah.
So they're doing a lot of really good work because I imagine they'll find all the hiccups and snags so that the people doing it for NAIC and for Worlds know what to avoid.
Yeah, 100%.
Walking so the others can run, etc., etc.
Yeah, I feel like as much as I am enjoying Champions, I do acknowledge the difficulties in its current state to be the game that is played at regionals.
Yes, and as much as people are really upset that Melbourne got dragged out into Reg-I and we don't get champions, I know people are very upset about that, and I understand that, and I think it would be cool for Melbourne to be on champions. Like, I certainly wouldn't be upset. But by the same token, as a country, we get 3 regionals a year. Like, this big-ass island that we live in, only 3 regionals, and I think, as opposed to the US, which probably gets, about like 152 regionals a year or something
roughly,
ridiculous.
Yeah, every other day, I think.
Yeah, something like that. I think it would almost be a little bit unfair for us to only have 3 regionals a year, and one of them was a clusterfuck because it was the first Champions regional.
Yeah.
I think giving us a regional where we know everything's going to work, and I say that very loosely because there's still going to be shit tons of connection issues.
Well, I mean, Sydney was very good.
Yeah.
For us as a region. The connection issues were probably like a tenth of what we've had at prior regionals, which is very
awesome.
good.
I think in part because they kind of from what I've heard, some people said they weren't doing the same kind of stuff that they previously have done. Like they
it
changed.
was like much more local servers
cool.
instead of like very big, huge servers. They were like, tiny little 8-pod.
And much love to ESL sometimes. They would have a hard time, I think, trying to set up the infrastructure for this new game, which specifically requires internet connection.
Yes.
And I reckon if ESL were running the first ever regionals on Champions and they had to try to make everything work, a lot of it wouldn't.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't necessarily be down to them. It'd be down to like them trying to do it for the first time. There's probably some issues with equipment. And I think a lot of players in Australia would actually, one of our 3 regionals would be in a situation where it's like a clusterfuck guinea pig.
Yeah.
And so I actually think it's
and
not
then
all bad that we're getting
like
Red Guy.
a world championship invites come down to whether or not you survive the clusterfuck.
Oh, yeah, exactly, right? Like
Which
so
would be
many people
incredibly
are
unfair.
going into Melbourne, and Melbourne is 100% make or break for their Worlds attendance, right?
Yeah.
If they do well, they're in Worlds. If they don't, they're not.
Yeah.
And I think to get shafted by a disconnect or by something not working or by something timing out because you're not familiar with the timer rules, all that kind of thing, that would be a little bit brutal.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Whereas you compare it to Indianapolis, like if people at Indianapolis have a bad time at regionals, they just go to the next regionals down the road the following week.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's in the US, there's a million of them. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like Moxie Boosted has missed the last 2 regionals that he's gone to go to because he
Just missed
slept
the
through a
flight.
flight or because he spent too long editing a video. Like,
shout out Moxie.
if you missed 2 regionals in Australia, you've missed most of the regionals.
Yeah, you've missed the season and you need to win.
Yeah,
basically.
100%. Like you can't qualify of 1 regionals unless you do, like if you win.
Yeah.
I think maybe a second place. How much CP is second place?
350?
Yeah, that wouldn't be enough for a qualification.
320?
If you don't win the whole thing, like maybe if you win every single cup in your hometown.
Yeah, because I think last year we were about 800. Our lowest qualifier
20th
had
spot.
the highest CP of any lowest qualifier in all regions.
Right, yeah.
So like that's
You need a lot of CP, and coming in second at 1 regionals wouldn't cut it.
no, not at all. And even if you maxed your local BFLs, you're still cooked.
So yeah, more than happy for all the Australian community to give me shit and be like, you're not even playing. You can't talk about, us being unhappy to get champions. For the record, I signed that petition that was going around to try to encourage them to give us champions instead.
Yeah.
I knew it wouldn't do anything, which it didn't, but I think it was important to encourage that because I am sad that we're not getting champions. But I also think it's important that we do consider that we could have had some serious issues if we had champions for our final regionals, if it was the first ever regionals to have champions.
Yeah. Champions as it is right now is even at Indianapolis, it's going to be a clusterfuck.
Oh, 100%.
Like a exhibition center internet is not great to begin with.
Yeah.
And consider Go at like our regionals, they play 32 people at a time on a LAN connection, and it's difficult for them to have 32 people connected to the internet at once and playing Pogo.
Yeah.
Imagine having 300 people connected to the same exhibition center internet trying to play a game that requires dedicated online.
Yeah.
And then like think about Indy. Indy's probably going to have 1,000 people.
Oh, it's so many people. Like first champions regionals, so many people are going to be keen.
Yeah. I was looking at the ladder before we started recording of in-game champions. And in the warm-up tournament, 720,000 people took part online, which is by quite a margin the most players that have been in an online competition for Pokemon.
Yeah.
For quite some time. There's lots of hype around it, but in its current state, oh my Lord, I expect lots of Twitter posts to come out of the end of Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah. And there'll be a bunch of players slagging off the judges. Worst judge decision ever.
Yeah.
There's a DC and I should have won. 100%. There's going to be so many issues.
Yeah.
Somewhat glad almost that our Australian players get the opportunity to play on a relatively reliable Relatively doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Relatively reliable game that they can go. They can have a solid, reliable event and
I think
get an appropriate opportunity.
I think the big thing is that the event organizers, the TOs, now have a lot of experience with Scavvy, and they've optimized their setup for Scavvy. And yeah, as you say, relatively speaking, a lot less issues than there have been early Scavvy. So the opportunity to have our last event of the year on something that we know is going to work is...
Yeah, and we've got over 6 months until...
whatever the next regional will be for us.
Next Australian regional.
Yeah.
At which point it will be champion. So that's so much time for ESL to kind of start to figure out what they're doing.
Even Ilka and Play Pokemon and Pokemon Company to figure out what they can do to the game so that it can be played.
Yeah, live service.
Yeah, at a regionals without potentially needing to be connected to the internet the whole time. Like that is pretty much what we would hope for. That's what's going to make it more reliable, is if we can just maybe log in to the internet to check and then have a local play system of some form.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I would love it if they give us local play. It seems like they've decided that they're going internet only, but I think local play would be a very good idea. But yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
Chris has just woken up from his nap.
Well, I don't know what the fuck you two are talking about.
Yeah, because you've been napping. We are talking about how it might actually not be a dreadful thing that Melbourne is not going to be on Champions, because if it was on Champions, there'd be so many tech and other problems.
So, but yeah, there'll be so much tech and other problems, regardless of what game we're playing, because it's a Pokemon event. But
yeah, that's why I use the term relatively.
Yeah,
it'll be a magnitude more if we had to use a brand new game. That requires dedicated internet to function.
I don't think anyone's going to deny that it would be fucked.
Yeah.
Let them look. It's fine. Let them figure their shit out at other events, and then by the time we get it in Australia, it'll be all sorted.
Exactly.
Hopefully.
So,
I mean, do we keep Champions? We've all been playing it. I'm assuming. I've been doing my dailies. I'm still. I'm not pretending to be good at it. I'm still in great ball tier. However,
I would like to say though, I think that's a good idea for you.
Yes.
To not be playing Champions heavily.
I do my dailies.
Yeah, because you do have the final regional to lock in on.
I do. I've got my team.
You're going to have a Crisis regardless. I think if you were playing Champions heavily, your Crisis would be elevated.
I do a little bit of. I do think about Regai a lot. I've got the team locked in. It's built in game.
You've got it locked in.
I've got lines written down on paper. I've got like damage calcs. It's just devoting like the scrimming every day against friends or whoever. So there will be a O2 drop. So I keep saying there's going to be a summit, and I just need to get home from work and get on Discord and turn the summit on and actually have it, rather than go home and watch Netflix and chill.
Well, congratulations on your performance at North on Wednesday night.
Thank you. I did not go. Hang on. This is what's at North on Wednesday night?
The challenge.
All right. Maybe I should go just to get practice. Plus, I've got cards I don't want to buy there. So the real reason
we're just giving a weeknight event a whirl for VG.
I'll go to pad the numbers if you like. And I can do Wednesdays is a good day for me actually. It gives me an excuse not to see my boyfriend.
Get fucked, nerd.
You just get fucked, nerd, Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Andrew, you're a nerd. Get fucked. I also hello to all my work colleagues. I work in a hospital, and 2 colleagues, one's a pharmacist, one's a doctor. 2 of them have randomly come up to me and be like, "I listened to your podcast."
Damn.
And I don't know. One of them listened to Westy VGC's interview episode. One of them also, and then another one's like, "Oh, I liked at the start how you we going through a rough time at the moment, reaching out to all those people affected." I must have been the Bondi episode. I was like, "Why would you listen to that one?"
Oh yeah, that's.
I mean, to be fair, we didn't title it in memoriam of Bondi.
We didn't.
He commented though that the podcast was very well edited and put together and professional. Oh. The production quality was very good.
You do a very good job of the production quality, Joel.
I appreciate you guys saying that. We have production quality equipment, and I production edit it.
Right, and that,
which I imagine a lot of lounge room podcasts, I guess you call it, amateur podcasts. Yeah. I imagine a lot of them don't. They just kind of record the audio and then upload it. Yeah.
And that brings an end to Joel's annual glazing quota.
Thank you. I
That will be
appreciate it.
for the rest of the year.
Don't be giving him glaze. He's got heart problems.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it because you'll eat that too.
Yeah, that could be bad for me. So thank you for not sugarcoating.
Yeah, I won't. I don't have anything regular to talk about. So can we talk about champions?
I'd love to.
Not about like it not being ready for competitive use, but more about the format. Regulation, my balls.
My balls.
What are we down? 1.5 weeks on?
Yeah, at time of
It's
recording.
only been, it feels like it forever, but that's because it's been a long couple
when
of weeks.
when
It
this
was a
episode
week ago last Wednesday, so we're 2 days away from being 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, when this episode drops, it will have been out for 2 weeks.
But the fact that we're quibbling over like whether or not it's been 2 weeks, it's very fresh.
It's fresh.
Very, very fresh. But
Hot off the
I've had a
press.
lot more time to actually play and delve into it as opposed to last week where I had barely touched it, right?
Yeah.
So I've been having a great time.
Yeah.
Been loving it. I've had a few teams that I like, and I've finally settled on a team that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
It's Mega Delphox,
Nice.
which
yeah.
I think is a bit slept on at the moment. I think it does a really good job.
Yeah. I
Very.
want to play with Scovillain.
Yeah, it's like literally I woke up one day and apparently Scovillain's good. And like I tried to, when I tiered the Megas, I tried to like, Mega Scovillain, I built the team as well and I tried to use it. Mark, when you and I scrimmed on your stream.
Yes.
I used Mega
That's
Scovillain
right.
against you. I was onto it day one.
Yeah.
Thought it was shit. Like a week later, suddenly.
Well, apparently Edu has come up with a spread that is just thick.
Well,
32 defense, 32 special defense.
Pretty much.
I mean, like,
and then it's just support. It's like
I mean, that's how you'd run it, like Rage Powder,
Rage Powder,
Helping
sub.
Hand.
but it's not bulky enough to be like, it can rage paddle like once or twice and then it's dead. But I guess everything gets burned.
How does it work with sub? If I hit a Scovillain sub, would I get burned?
I don't think you do, but I think it was
Yeah.
just like a last minute thing to keep it
Sure.
alive and redirect.
I was running Leech Seed sub, Flamethrower Protect, but I mean, I've seen other people like run Rage Powder as well.
I think-
Wolfie's using it.
Rage Powder is probably a good idea. The main reason you run it is because it can burn everything. I think with
Yeah.
Mega Scovillain is the kind of Pokemon where it's like it will be good slapped on a team because it's not prevalent.
Yeah.
And people won't have an answer for it. I think as soon as it becomes widespread, it'll suck because as soon as people start teching for it, it's useless.
Well, didn't
Yeah.
Alistair have it as his secret source and then it's been outed and now he can't use it anymore?
Yeah,
I swear.
Well, it's definitely been
Talking
outed
with
now that you've mentioned it. But
Shout out to Alistair. Definitely bring a Scovillain to Japan Nationals. You should have definitely prepared for it.
yeah, should have spent more time in the kitchen, less time proposing to his now fiance.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Alistair.
Yeah, congratulations.
Just to
I hope you're well.
clarify-
Unfortunately, people who are in happy relationships don't do well at VGC. So
And to clarify,
news for you, but-
he did not propose to me, just in case anyone was shipping that.
look, I wish he proposed to me just so that I would have got that cheese board that he made for the proposal. I don't know if you saw the photos.
I didn't see the cheese board.
It was like
no.
a beach picnic. It was like perfectly aesthetic.
Yeah,
What
I,
happened to your post breakup? Like, get skinny and hot.
Yeah, I'm trying to get skinny and hot so that someone proposes to me with an excellent cheese board.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry.
I saw the picture that he shared in his Instagram of like them both dressed in like, identical dress and t-shirt type thing. I was like, oh, that's too cute.
Nice.
It's very well done. I proposed in the dark at Kings Park. So, yeah.
I have not proposed to anyone.
Holy shit.
The cheese board or the outfits?
The cheese board, the setup. My God.
Do you reckon when she saw him setting up all that, she knew she was getting proposed to?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Can I see this cheese board, please?
It
If
looks-
it's
it's a
enough to
very
make
good setup.
you two like froth at the mouth.
I mean, Chris also does very good cheese boards, so he might not be that impressed by this.
Oh yeah. Hang on. Let me just zoom in.
It's a setup as a whole. Like,
And-
Yeah, the setup as a whole is just like he's done it
Champagne.
right.
yeah. Good work, Alistair.
Who's recording? I wonder.
I think these are the photos that she took.
No, there's a video underneath this image.
Oh, okay. I'm not
There's
sure.
grapes. It even brought like the knife block to put the knives in as
Yeah.
well.
Nice.
Some cured meats, some carrot sticks, very well cut.
No, I always
carrot
say
sticks.
about like people always talk about culture and people give white people culture a bit of shit and
Yeah.
white people food and all that kind of thing, and some of which I agree with. But white people do picnics better than anyone else. Like
Yeah, Alistair.
he's half white.
No, he's actually 2/3 white. I mean, well,
isn't he smart?
I'm not
he's
out here
tri-
trying to
his
judge his
triple-
blood quantum. Okay,
His triple citizenship is only 1/3 citizen Japan. He's English
well, I
and
mean,
Australian.
He doesn't have three parents.
He might. I'm not judging.
They're not even splits.
But like,
he's the first human made from 2 sperms.
when
That's pretty gay.
going back to my point though, you don't want to see white people show up to the cookout.
No.
Because they're bringing potato salad with raisins or some shit.
Yeah.
I would
But like-
never, just quietly.
or boiled chicken.
Yeah. But throughout the picnic, you love to see the white people coming.
Yeah.
Because they bring out the weird shit that like they have in their house specifically for picnics. I remember when you and your wife showed up to that picnic we had in the park one
the
time.
shit that we bought.
Yeah, like the esky that folded out into chairs and like had cup holders in it, and the little thing that spins around to keep flies away.
Yeah.
And white people, the only people that like rock up with like jars of like relish or chutney.
Yeah,
like,
all that
only
kind of
white
stuff.
people do that.
And the fact that I brought a whole additional barbecue.
Yeah, that, and then like a big ass wooden board and just pulling like different cheeses and relishes and fruits out of the esky to do all that up. That's where you want the whiteys.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The white people get turnt for a picnic.
Yeah. If you see white people showing up to the picnic, you know you're in for a good time.
Okay. And with white people comes white wine as well. It's always good at a picnic.
Oh,
It is, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
But no, congrats, Alistair. He is engaged now, so he can lock in for the Japanese GC and get his world's invite
With Scoville on.
with Scoville. There has been a few officially big tournaments.
Officially big.
Officially big. Before we get into that, I'd like to
Is that what your doctor described you as?
officially
big.
That's,
Yeah,
that's
pretty
what the
much.
doctor wrote in the script for Monjaro.
officially big, bro. I'd like to admit to some crimes.
Like, do you
Joel
want to stop
killed a
recording
man.
quickly, or do
Pardon?
you want to stop recording so you don't incriminate yourself?
No, I have been playing singles
Oh God, okay. Because you're farming VP.
because I'm farming VP.
So that's actually a slur against me now. Thanks very much.
Farming VP.
Singles.
Yeah, so I got to Master Ball on doubles, and then I tanked my rating down to 1600. You enter Master Ball at 1800. So I did not have fun once I got to Master Ball. But I'm now like Ultra Ball 3 in singles, and I got there way quicker than I got to Ultra Ball 3 in doubles. I made the comment in our Discord. I was like, does anyone have any teams for the shit ladder? I got a little bit of shit for that, but it turns out it is the shit ladder because I have been dominating it so far. But it is a very good way to get VP because the matches are done so quickly.
I decided that I wanted to prioritize my VP the last couple of days. I spent it all on changing my kit, my outfit, because I was like, you know what? I don't want to be that guy that rocks up to like official events in the basic like starter outfit with because it's very ugly.
It's terrible. I can't remember who posted it, but there was a Twitter post where somebody said, can I call judge on my opponent if they're wearing the starter outfit in Champions? If there wasn't rules written down, I would accept that as a person judging an event. I'd be like, what the
rules.
fuck?
There's rules against sportsmanship. Going against the spirit of the game.
Going against the spirit of the game.
Was it Pengi who tweeted that?
It might have been paying you.
I know that someone called out Wolf Glick for still having the base character outfit on, even though he was like, top of the champions.
Yeah. Wolf is still in the top 20 of the in-game ladder, I believe.
What do you do? Should we talk about the Champions Leadership Board? Because we can look at it. It's basically all Japanese players.
It is.
There was Rinya at number 4. I remember that.
It was indeed Rinya at number 4. Alistair has given us the translation, and I do have my Switch, which is currently connected to the internet.
Not the internet.
Not on the internet. So currently the top rated ELO is 2427, which is fucking huge. Kieran got second place on a GC with 1903 or something, 1910.
Sure, we'll go with that.
I think was the ELO he got. But yeah, who were the... Sorry, I'm just getting my translation out from a Japanese-speaking panelist.
Can I read out the names while you're doing this?
Yep, do it.
So currently at 2427 is Kaito Ari.
Yep.
Second at 2413.
So shout out Brisbane Regional Champion.
Yes. Yuta Takahashi is second. At third at 2405 is Joji Kaida. Joji's honorary Australian. And number 4, we said was Rinya at 2,405. You're going to have to take over the translation 6. I don't know what 2,387 is another Japanese player.
Yeah, the first English speaking player is Paul, which we assume is Paul Chua because I think he's been grinding the in-game ladder at 2402.
What's the flag? Do we know?
It's just based on
okay.
speaking. We can look at their profile. They are also...
We're going to assume it's not the Masto.
They are also... so they're number... goddamn. They're number 8 in doubles and they're also in Master Ball rank 3 in singles. So
holy shit.
And they've already got the gold badges for Water and Dragon. So been absolutely cranking out the games.
Must not have jobs. I reckon that's...
maybe. Strider is number 10. I'm pretty confident Strider is
Marcus Dion.
Marcus Dion, right, yeah.
He has a job, so that's very impressive.
At 2365. Wolfie is 16th on the in-game ladder currently at 2340.997.
This is his job, so I guess
this is his job, so he's where he should be. Then we have Campo is number 37th. So I'm pretty sure Camporossi.
Yeah,
at 2308. And then is there any more? There's a player by the name of Amber, so don't know whomst that is at 41st, 2305. And then that is all the English-speaking players in the top 50. There are several more in the top 100. So there's Manguarius, Dubious, D-Man, VGC, Marai.
Marai, how do you spell that? You're not talking about Oliver Ramsey, are you?
MIR.
No, okay.
Yeah. Rue, Polar Bear with a Q is the world champion. Is that right?
I don't know.
I mean, Geo.
I think he goes by Polar Bear.
Actually, that does sound correct.
Wait, where the fuck is the Q?
Instead of the O. So
I hate that.
It's PQ Lola Bear.
Yeah, I hate that as well.
I hate it.
Carson, 72th, 2264. Frost Star.
I don't think we need to read out every single player in the top 100.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. Let's just agree to... Look, too long didn't read.
Yeah.
To no surprise to anyone, the Japanese are killing it in a closed team sheet environment.
They sure are.
They sure are. Because this is like bread and butter for them.
Okay. Most used Pokemon. You'll never guess who's number 1 in this format currently.
Well, here's the thing I won't, because there's like 4 or 5 different options it could be.
I'm going to say Sneasler.
I'm also going to say Sneasler.
Yeah.
But it could also very easily be Incineroar.
Number 2.
There we go. Is number 3 Garchomp?
It is.
There we go. Yeah, so those are the 3 that it could have been.
Yeah. Keep going. You're on a roll.
Okay.
When it comes to megas, like, because you can only really have
There's
one
no
per
megas
team.
yet.
There's no megas yet. Because
Garchomp is a mega potential, but no one plays it as a mega.
Because like Floette's got to be up there, I reckon.
I think it'll be top 10, but not top 5.
I reckon it'll be top 20, but not top 10.
So up to 4.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like a Tailwind set or like
Defiant Mon.
King Gambit.
King Gambit. Number 5, Teacup.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Sinister top 5.
Sinister, yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Number 6.
Tell I'm too low down on the fucking ladder to know this shit.
Aerodactyl. Yeah, I was going to say.
No, Aerodactyl
Whimsicott?
is 7th.
Oh, I was close.
And Whimsicott is 10th.
Okay.
Delphox.
No, it's Basculegion in 10th.
Yeah. Okay.
Our first mega is in 8th place.
Yeah.
Gengar?
Charizard.
Oh, okay, so Charizard's still above Floette.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Followed by Rotom Wash in 9th.
That doesn't surprise me. Rotom's so good right now.
There's a few citrus berry Rotoms as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scrotom's also good.
11th, Pelipper, and 12th, Floette. 13th, Titar, 14th, Farigiraf, 15th, Archilodon, 16th, Milotic, 17th is Dragonite, 18th is Frostlass, 19th is Venusaur, and 20th is Talonflame with Meganium, Corv, Delphox, Gengar, Mousehold, rounding out the top 25 of usage.
Yeah, the stat man.
Da, 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 da.
Thank you for letting us know of those stats. Yeah, it all makes sense to me. I've been using Mega Meganium actually. My current team is a Sand team with Mega Meganium and it feels very strong. I was running Earth Power and I've just changed to Weather Ball because Weather Balls is better.
Yeah. We did a little tournament online on Friday night, and
I mean, we said little, like it was only our subscribers, and there was still there was like 14 people.
14 people played, yeah. So it was actually one of our bigger little tours that we've done. So thank you, every one of our subscribers, for joining that tour. If you want to join a tour in the future, please do check out the o2drop.com, where it will redirect you to our Buzzsprout page, where for as little as $3 American per month, you will gain access to our Discord, where you can take part in other Limitless tours that we do. We play Mafia. We have Draft League. We have memes, pictures of Chris's mum waddling in the 70s, and over 150 hours of bonus content that we record weekly. And if you are in our Discord, you will be able to speak to us when we do our Bottom Cut Live, roughly once a month on Twitch, where we will do talk back radio style with our subscribers.
Are we shouting that out?
Yep.
I'm keen for Bottom Cut FM.
Yeah.
I will give the 100th subscriber to the O2 Drop, I will give them an autographed photo of my mother.
Autographed by Dan.
By Diana. She will sign it.
I'm going to unsub then resub.
Oh, wait, wrong one.
I'm going to make an alt and sub with that.
It's just, everyone's waiting at like midnight for 99 sub. It's just ding.
That's pretty. Oh, okay. Well, thanks, Chris.
I don't know how I'm going to sell this idea to her and how I'm going to like, Mum,
you haven't discussed it with her.
I please print off a photo of you and get you to sign it?
Just get her to sign some carbon paper or something on top of a photo that she doesn't realize is there.
Oh, what have I committed to?
What have you?
I'm still trying to remember what we committed to for the 85 sub thing.
No
All I know is I'm
idea.
not getting my balls out until 100.
It wasn't a cookbook, was it? There was something I don't know.
I think that was in 100 as well, to be honest with you.
No, we had something.
No,
for
100
85.
was nude calendar and dub the anime.
Yeah. If listeners,
Okay.
I've asked this. It's the second time I've asked this. Can you please remind us what we committed to, like what we pledged at 85 subs? It wasn't that long ago. It was said in the last 2 months. We have the sleuths to get onto it.
If no one can remember, then no one can hold us to it.
That's
so
true.
it's fine.
That is very true.
But yeah, in the last local that we did, I think Genesis was running Mega Venusaur, and I just had no answers to it at all.
No, okay. Well, I mean, it is a bulky and loses its ice and fire weaknesses.
Yeah.
so
It's quite strong, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what beats it that everyone fucking sleeps on? Corviknight. Corviknight is the answer to every single problem with VGC, and no one believes me. And when I say VGC, I mean Regulation MA specifically.
You can also beat it with a Delphox.
You can be with a Delphox or a Charizard White, so you need like a support.
Yeah.
I mean, only if Charizard Y is running flying coverage. I mean, it's still going to do a decent chunk with fire type moves, but Thick Fat does a lot of heavy lifting for Venu.
I'm talking about beating Corviknight. I'm saying Corviknight beats everything. Almost
Corviknight is incredible in singles. You just have to replace like Brave Bird with Iron Head.
But Brave Bird just, even like an uninvested Brave Bird does a fuck ton.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's if in doubt, run Corviknight. That's my motto for Regulation MA.
And shout out to Peter, came out of the woodwork to come and play our first tour, and he brought Mega Blastoise, Mega Titar, Excadrill, Farigiraf, Incin, and Sinistra.
And that is Peter vowels, not Peter consonants. Just don't get confused.
I
You're so easy, Joel.
So dumb.
I had a good time at that event. I will say a gripe that I've had about Champions, I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, is the joystick controls are really clunky and overly sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit of a lag if an input when you're like clicking moves.
I just use the D-pad.
I
honestly.
I lost my winning in because I side dragon clawed my own Broton.
Nice.
It's weird. Why is it like that? Like it's not. Is it the controller or the game?
It can't be the controller because
It's the same controller.
it's fine for Scavvy when I play it.
Yeah, I've noticed that
So I've basically been forcing myself to now use the D-pad because it's just more reliable.
yeah.
I've been using the D-pad on Pokemon games for about 2 years because I've had stick drift for about 2 years.
Mine's a brand. These are. I mean, we've got a brand new Switch too, so it can't be stick drift.
and I'm using a
I'll be
Procon as
pushing
well.
like down, and all of a sudden I'm in like the next fucking menu somehow. Like I don't even know how I got. Like I'm not.
Going down, down, down.
Thank you for that musical compliment. Did anyone bring the wall? I keep hearing about fucking
The wall.
Actually, someone posted something on Twitter, which I think I'll repeat. Mega Aggron, the wall spammers are the new Dozo players, apparently. Do we agree with this take?
I haven't seen enough.
Aggron
Mega
does live a
Aggron.
lot, but I mean, it dies to like an ember type thing. So
Yeah, I think that's maybe why I haven't had that many issues with it, is because
you use
I just
special.
use special attacking fire types.
Yeah.
But I mean, even then, it's got filter.
Yeah, it does have it. Reduces by 25%. Is that correct?
What's filter?
You take three-quarter damage from
Weak.
super effective attacks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Same as Solid Rock do the same thing?
Yeah, it's exactly the same as Solid Rock.
There you go.
Nice. There were some interesting cooks. Chestnuts brought Wordier.
Which I think slept on a little bit.
Yeah.
In this low-powered formats like Intimidate, Trick Room Setter, the skill swap.
Sumo bought Umbreon. I didn't see Umbreon get used, but he did bring it. Fucking Oreo had a Mamoswine, which was heat to see. Unfortunately, I did Oko it with my Meowscarada when I saw it. DeWizard also brought Wordier, so I think DeWizard and Chestnuts were working together.
They were cooking together, yeah.
Mark with his hyper offense team, and then Skittles surprisingly was the best of the non-qualifiers. In fifth place, he bought a rain team with Mega Dragonite, I think. It was Mega Dragonite with Hurricane, Thunder, Ice Beam, and Draco Meteor. Very reliant on the weather there. But that was our little tour. But there was an actual bigger tour the weekend just gone. It was called the Champions Arena. It was hosted, I believe, by Victory Road. Organizer was Victory Road, featuring Sakayam, Folagor, and Pokey Alex. The winning team, it was won by Hyungwoo Shin from Korea. And their team was Mega Charizard, an Unburdened Sneasler with White Herb, Leftovers Competitive Milotic, Citrus Rough Skin, Garchomp, Chople, Intimidate, Incin, and Focus Sash, Chlorophyll, Venusaur. Seems like a very, I don't want to say stock standard, but a kind of a standard team. And of the top cut, of which there was 11 players, 6 featured Mega Charizard.
Yeah, someone bragged about this on Twitter, and I replied on it and said, yeah, that's because there was over 1,000 plus players in this event, right?
Yeah.
I commented saying, yeah, there was 1,000 plus Charizard Sims competing. And that's the only reason why there was 6 in the top cut.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people have been kind of down on Charizard. They've said it's a fraud, it's overhyped. And I think it is overhyped to an extent, but that's only because so many people were talking about how insanely oppressive it was going to be.
Yeah.
And we've actually got the game, and it's strong.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's not like oppressive. Compare it to something like Incin or Sneasler.
Yeah.
Like, they are everywhere and they're very strong. I'd say Sneasler less so because it's more of like almost a counter meta pick almost. It's more reactive.
Yeah.
Whereas like something like Incineroar is properly oppressive. So yeah, I think Charizard is strong, and I think people are underhyping it because it was previously overhyped. It didn't meet the hype, and people are now saying, oh, it's a fucking fraud. Whereas like, no, it's very strong. It's just not as insanely oppressive and prevalent as people thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But in fairness, that's also partly because so many people were so concerned about Zard that they've filled their team up with counters to it, like Weather Control and Rock Slide on every second Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like when you look at that top 10 that you read out earlier, Garchomp and Aerodactyl both being what, top 5?
Yeah. Well, top 7.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, Aerodactyl was 7th, but like these two Rock Slide
T-Tar
users,
was
which
11.
are faster than Zard,
Yeah.
like Garchomp being 2 points faster and having Rock Slide, it's probably why it's at number 3.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Shout out to our favorite Joseph Ugarte, who finished.
My favorite Joe is Joe Merrick, just saying.
Okay.
He's been on a tirade lately.
He has. Sumo hates him. We can get into that in the bottom cut. Joe UX9 was running a Mega T-Tar team. So Focus Sash, Sandrush, Excadrill, Mega T-Tar, Leftover Mirror Armor Corv, Choice Scarf Hydreigon, Citrus Rotom Wash, and White Herb Mimikyu.
White Herb Mimikyu is very interesting.
Yeah.
Although, White Herb has become so prevalent.
Yeah, everywhere.
Just because of Incin, there's no clear amulet.
Yeah. What's their faces? Sneaslers love to hold a White Herb if they're
Sneasler
unburdened.
loves White Herb.
Yes, it does.
I think it's really interesting when I look at the meta and how people are scrambling to react to the fact that there is no clear amulet and covert cloak. Both of these items that were only introduced last game.
Yes.
Like they're both very new, and that's sometimes hard to remember because we had Scarlet and Violet for roughly 20 years.
Yeah.
So, we've had these items for so long, but it's interesting. I'm trying to remember what the meta was like before we had Covert Cloak and Clear Amulet, and I'm just remembering that Incineroar was even worse than it was in Scavvy.
Yeah.
And we're back to being that way now.
Yeah, I don't know if it feels as bad as that, just because I feel like Incin's kind of relatively easily dealt with in this current version, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
Well, people are running Melodic. There's so many people putting Melodic in, competitive Melodic.
I was running Scarf Milotic for a bit.
Milotic and King Gambit are very, if you're queuing, you are going to run into one of those two.
Yeah, Milotic I'm seeing far less than King Gambit. King Gambit I'm seeing everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
But it's on my team. It's so good. I was tossing up whether or not I wanted to use Aegislash or King Gambit because I wanted a steel type and I wanted either dark or ghost coverage to be able to hit ghost types because that was where my team was struggling. And I really wanted to use Aegislash because it's a really cool Pokemon. But when it came down to it, King Gambit was so much better for my team. I wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Defiant just makes a huge difference, especially in this meta when Incineroar is everywhere. Even though Sneasler is the most used Pokemon, I still think King Gambit is very, very strong.
Yeah.
And well positioned.
I've just pulled up Lab Mouse to look at one of the big Regulation MA tournaments. So there was Pokemon Champions first tour with the $500 prize pool run by Champions Hub. Had 532 players. And surprisingly, Sneasler not as high usage as it is on the in-game ladder. Incin number one, no surprise, at 53%, but then the drop-off to Sneasler was down to 37% usage, Sinister at 36%
Okay, genuine
usage.
question though.
Yeah.
Do we just think that's because some people don't have the game and have a hard time getting Sneasler?
Maybe.
If you're just talking about in-game ladder, maybe just fewer people have Sneasler.
Well, this is an online best of 3 tournament.
Oh, right. Okay, sorry. I thought you were just talking about in-game ladder in general.
No. This is a best of 3 tournament instead of in-game ladder. So
right,
Incin over half, and then the next 3 Sneasler, Sinister, Garchomp all above 33%. Basculegion, King Gambit, Pelipper, Whimsicott all above 20%. And then Charizard was the number 1 mega, followed very closely by Tyranitar, Dragonite, and Gengar for a best of 3 tournament. So some argument to be made that, a best of 3 event will have a slightly different composition and maybe Sneasler doesn't do quite as well in that environment. Somebody took a Quaquaval to top 32 in this tournament, so...
Heat.
Yeah.
Love Quaquaval. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of it, to be honest. Moxie with Aquastep feels like every time we're in a low power format, I always feel like that should be a really strong combination, but I think its stats are just a tiny bit shit.
Yeah. I'm trying to...
Water Fighting is good coverage.
Yeah, because you had to verse all 18 types in Scavvy, so it's not like it should be any more or less good than Skeledirge or Meowscarada.
Well, I just think Aqua Breed Tauros is better for a start.
Yeah, that argument can definitely be made. Doesn't appear in any usage. Quaquaval.
Yeah.
That is a wonderful question.
It goes Brave Bird, but I'm wondering, give it a White Herb to deal with Intimidate. If you don't get it procced, you can proc it with Close Combat.
This one looks like it was used on a rain team. So it was run with Protect, CC, Ice Spinner, Aqua Step, and then it was paired with Gengar, Arch, Pelipper, Incin, and Basculegion.
Gengar's a really interesting one that I'm kind of surprised we're not seeing more of.
People are trying to do
Like, it is up there,
Polytoad
but-
Perish Trap memes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I watched a Perish Trap game. That was one of the ones I commentated for the OCE VGC exhibition. And it was actually a Mega Gengar mirror.
Oh,
But
really?
one of them was running Perish Song and the other one was just running it like more of a hyper offense.
Yeah.
2 attacks, disable, protect.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's really interesting Pokemon to see. It gets walled by bulletproof Pokemon. Because they're all just running Sludge Bomb and Shadow Ball,
Yeah.
both of which are bullet moves.
Yeah.
But I like disable on a fast attacker.
Yeah. I've seen a few people try and get into the position where they can like encore disable with Whims and Gengar.
I mean, it's not that hard to do. Gengar's very fast. Wims has Prankster and they can't switch out because you've Shadow tagged them.
Yeah.
So
And
encore
then
disable and it's just
hit
brutal.
the struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that I don't know they're doing more patches and stuff, but more bugs that we didn't report last week. Unnerve doesn't work for like random Pokemon. Things like apparently if like certain abilities are immune to an Unnerve now.
Interesting.
Like by accident.
Okay.
So because I've actually had Pokemon eat berries with my Unnerve Aerodactyl.
Yeah. God.
And did you know they've changed it so that sleeping Pokemon can't retreat?
What?
That's incorrect.
There's no way.
I saw this and I haven't tested it, but like
I
people
have
are-
retreated a sleeping Pokemon
Definitely.
like yesterday.
Okay. So
Yeah.
they haven't, because like obviously they nerfed sleep by making it so
It's
a
only
1 in 3
turns
1 in 3 chance of waking up on turn 2.
and guaranteed on turn 3.
Yes.
Yeah. So
There's
there's
no
a
3 turn sleep.
yeah. Yes. Is that no? It used to be 4 turn.
No, you guarantee sleep turn 1, and then you had a chance of waking up turn 2 or turn 3, but then you'd guarantee wake up turn 4.
Yeah. So
now you
they've shortened
guarantee,
that.
yeah, they've shortened it by a turn.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can retreat a sleeping Pokemon. That's
Yeah.
not true. Thanks, Twitter. Tell you what, I'll give this tweet of the week because I thought it was very, very funny. I will post a graphic in the Discord. But there was basically someone posted, this is like a summary of like what Pokemon Champion is right now. It's Connect 4 Rock Slides. And it's like it's like a T-Tar playing Connect 4, the classic 30% chance to flinch game. And a lot of people have been calling for Rock Slide to be nerfed. I think the general consensus is people are like, just make it 80 base power at 775 and give it like 20% chance to flinch instead of 30% chance to flinch. I actually think if you're going to nerf the flinch chance, then I think you make it more than 80. I reckon make it like 85 base power if you're going to nerf the flinch chance. Because I think Rock needs as much love as it can get. And I don't think, if you take away the 30% flinch chance of Rock Slide, Rocks take a massive hit. Because I've double missed Rock Slide many times in Champions.
I do like the idea of them decreasing the flinch chance of Rock Slide and then otherwise buffing it.
Yeah.
Give it an extra 10 base power, make it 100% accurate, then nerf the flinch chance to 10%.
100% accurate. There is a lot of people complaining about at the moment, the game is, you've obviously got Dire Claw, you've got Rock Slide flinches. And then there's also like so many like crucial 90% accuracy moves right now in the metagame, whether it's Dual Wing Beat, Overheat, Heat Wave, like, I don't know, Play Rough, whatever it is that's your 90% accurate move. It's so like crucial. Meteor Beam, I guess. I don't know, whatever you're calling that.
I always get stressed watching Aerodactyl players because they've just got to they've taken a Pokemon down to Sash. They just need to connect a move, but the only attacks they're running are Rock Slide or Dual Wing Beat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, where's your 100% accurate move?
It's
Yeah.
like, it's those are really good moves when they hit. I don't know if I
Dual
could take
Wing
that.
Beat should be better.
Yes, it should. I don't
They
know
should
if I
either
could take
buff the base power or buff the accuracy, but like 80 base power and 90 accuracy is pretty garbage.
when
I think it's the effect of it being able to go past.
Being able to hit
Focus Sash.
twice is
Yeah, but-
decent, but it's still
Yeah.
not
Well, hang
enough
on,
to justify.
Farigiraf gets Twin Beam, and that hits
Is that
twice.
50?
It's 100.
40, 100.
50. 40 base power hits twice, 100% accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think like after my regionals experience last time where Chi-Yu like cost me games with misses, I don't think I could. I love Aerodactyl right now, like just doing my daily ladder games.
Yeah.
Would I take it to a regional? No. I think it's just too gimmicky. I mean, Sash Aerodactyl is great because it's the fastest non-prankster tailwind setter in the game. It threatens Mega Charizard. It threatens like Pelipper. I'm really hoping no one freaking starts catching on and running Wide Guard. I feel like Wide Guard would be actually quite good right now
I'm surprised we haven't been seeing more Wide Guard.
because it can go on like random good bonds.
It's very funny. I've been jumping on Twitch a lot and watching people who come from other games and have started playing Champions.
Is this what you're doing when you're like not updating our top 10 scores in the Discord?
I did 4 last week.
You did. I did notice you doing them.
And I'm going to try and do more this week. I just actually had work to do at work.
Are you having to manually listen through the episodes?
I just listen to where I can get all of the...
through to the...
Yeah.
Okay.
It is very funny listening to the old episodes though. Yeah. I don't know. It's just interesting seeing how far we've come in over a year.
How far we've sunk, depending on how you look at it.
Quellos estos. But no, I've been having a lot of fun with Aerodactyl. It's very good at what it does. The problem with it being very good at what it does is that the things that are used to OCO, they're all just like EVing for it. So I've seen a lot of thick whims now that will survive a dual wing beat from Aerodactyl. But my in-game team that I've been using, I've been running Meowscarada, Primarina, Incin, Aerodactyl, Mega Scissor, Mega Floette on the doubles ladder.
Mega Scissor is interesting. It's one that I tried. I liked it on paper. It worked really well with my team. Played one game. It wasn't able to OCO a Meganium with dual wing beat. And then I got one tapped by a fire weather ball. And I was like, I'm taking this shit off my team.
What would you have done if you clicked Bullet Punch into the Meganium?
It wouldn't have killed. Bullet Punch is 60 base power.
Yes. Plus stab though.
No, that's... Okay, sure. Taking it to 90.
Yep.
Whereas dual wing beat is 120 base power.
Because each hit is buffed.
Each hit is buffed to 60. So dual wing beat hits harder than a bullet punch.
Yep, I'm with you.
Yeah. I don't know. I've just found that it's a bit good bait. People want to attack the Mega Scizor instead of attacking the Choice Scarf Meowscarada that's going to knock out that Pokemon anyway.
I don't even know why you're.
If it's going to knock it out anyway, why does it matter if they're targeting the scissor?
I don't know, because you can get a bullet punch and crack a sash.
Are you one of those people that is suffered from triple axle misses with your mouse?
No, I don't have triple axle on mine.
Pussy.
Smart guy.
I have trick on mine.
Oh God.
Flower trick, knockoff, U-turn and trick.
What are you tricking the scarf onto, just out of curiosity? Like how many trick room teams do you come up against?
You can trick it onto an Aerodactyl.
It's very nice.
Is it faster than Aerodactyl?
Yes.
So
it's very easy to trick it onto a Whims because you just click trick turn 1.
Yeah, it's a bit worse into something like Whims because Whims is moving before you, which means they can pick a different move next turn.
Yeah.
Being faster than, your Scarf. So,
Yeah.
You're going to be faster than Aerodactyl most of the time anyway. But if you trick it onto an Aerodactyl that's using Tailwind that turn,
Yeah.
it's now Scarf locked into Tailwind.
Yeah.
So that's slightly better. But I can think of a few Pokemon. Incineroar probably doesn't really want to be holding a Scarf.
No, it doesn't.
Neasla might not either.
Yeah.
Most Garchomp are running it, but...
Give it something that it can't unburden.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, it's still faster, but...
Yeah.
I think I'm actually, in a way, glad that I'm competing in 5 weeks or 5.5 weeks in Melbourne in Reg-I, because I don't think where my life at the moment, like, you know, just commitments and stuff, I don't think I would have enough time to fully understand the regulation MA metagame and come up with a 6-mon team that has all the lines into all the crazy new megas and strats. And I think just Reg-I, like knowing that we've all played it before.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more of a safety net for me. I like that, even though I would love to play new megas at Melbourne, but I don't even know how to build a team to get to Master Ball tier, let alone.
You got to play more than 2 games.
I do think Sand. My 6 at the moment is Excadrill. I'm toying up between Mega Excadrill or Sash Excadrill. I think Sash is probably better. Sash Excadrill, T-Tar. I'm running Mega at the moment, but I did try Scarf as well. Meganium. What else have I got on my team? I've got Corviknight. I think Corviknight's my goat at the moment.
Yeah, I love playing with Corviknight.
What are you playing right now? Are you?
I did a recruit.
He's playing Champions Wild.
I got an Araquanid.
I can't remember the rest of my team now. I think I should probably put a water type on there. But, I'm enjoying it, but I'm not playing consistently enough to like know what's currently the metagame threats.
It is moving so quickly as well. Like I can see the Pokemon community absolutely doing to this what we did to every other regulation that we had in Scavvy and just playing the shit out of it way too quickly and then hitting it with the I'm bored now.
Yeah. I've got White Herb Sneasel on my team, obviously.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm running one of those as well. I'm running it Rock Tomb, which I'm really, really liking.
No fake out?
No fake out. Rock Tomb, Diaclaw, Close Combat, Protect.
I think no fake out works in closed team sheet. I think open team sheet fake outs because people like I got on-call locked into fake out today and that wasn't fun.
Damn.
Fake out's just less good on my team. Like as I'm looking at this team, most of the Pokemon on this team don't.
You don't know setudon't moves.
Yeah, they don't really need the fake
you
out.
Don't have like
I've got Nasty
Plot
Plot and Delphox.
So wouldn't you better lead those two then?
Yeah, theoretically, but I'm really liking Rock Tomb. Like the Nasty Plot and the Delphox, you're less likely to be trying to go for like a fake out Nasty Plot setup. I think it's so good because people are inclined to, because this is quite an offensive team, because it's me. People are inclined to try to.
This is you.
People are inclined to try to double protect to stall things out.
Yeah.
And you just take advantage of those turns to get a Nasty Plot off.
I'm running Frugraph in my 6th slot, but I don't know if that's actually my thought process being like people are, how people are bringing like Lucario and shit, and maybe Sizzle, like shit like that with Bullet Punch, Mac Punch.
Yeah.
Like things like T-Tyre, Excadrill, Meganium. They don't like priority moves like those. So I was like, yeah, I'll just bring Frigga just for those matchups, but it doesn't really do much. I've got Ally Switch on it too because it's funny.
I mean, you could.
Yeah. I was also running Ally Switch for Rig.
Can you click like Trick Room on that as well? And sometimes
I mean, yeah,
just
because
like,
Meganium can function in Trick Room. It's based 80 speed, so like it's slower than like most things.
yeah. And if you
and
you see that you're versing a very fast team, then
yeah, I don't know. It's not. I'm not sold on the 6 entirely, but I think, and now that I'm not running Scarf T-Tyre, I'm running Mega T-Tyre at the moment. Like that functions kind of well under Trick Room as well. It's only base 71 speed. So yeah, it has got a Trick Room mode, and yeah, yay Pokemon.
yeah, I experimented with Mega Golurk and I had no fucking idea what I was doing with that team. So I'm tempted to go to like a Trick Room team that I'm more used to. But of course, we don't have Terrifier fucking Torkoal anymore. So
It's hilarious that like Unseen Fist was the most cracked and most complained about thing like of all time in Pokemon. And now they gave it to Mega Golurk and it's like, it's not even like in the top 30 usage probably.
I would have liked for Mega Golurk to have had the opportunity to use full strength Iron Fist. Sorry, not Iron Fist, full strength Unseen Fist before they nerfed it.
yeah.
I'm glad they nerfed it. I just think it would have been nice for Mega Golurk to have had a bit of fun with it first.
Yeah. No, I think the nerf was very needed. It'll be interesting to see, how used the Urshifus are when they eventually come back. Pokemon, please don't bring them back too quickly.
Yeah.
But they will inevitably be back at some point. And, we have a whole bunch of new Megas to play with before we even consider bringing back Gen 8 Mons, in my opinion.
No, don't go like unnerfed Unseen Fist, but I think they should have given it Rage Fist. I think that would have been
Yes.
a smart idea.
I like that.
Because
I like that a lot.
Ghost Stab is really unfortunate, and I think the reason why like Annihilate is so good is because it gets Rage Fist. If Golurk is the perfect Pokemon to get Rage Fist, and it probably gets buffed by Iron Fist too.
Oh, it would, yeah.
Yeah.
So
do it, Game Freak. If you're listening, we know you listen because
please.
you nerf paralysis like we are. So do it.
because they gave it they buffed Golurk a lot in this game because they gave it both Poltergeist and Headlong Rush. But Poltergeist doesn't make contact, so it doesn't benefit.
Yeah,
Right,
and Shadow Punches shit.
Yeah, I was going to say the only Ghost type move that actually benefits from Unseen Fist that Golurk gets is Shadow Punch, because otherwise it's Poltergeist or Phantom Force, and Phantom Force already goes through Protect.
Just make Shadow Punch like 80 base power. Problem solved. There you go. I fixed the game again.
I still don't think I'd run it over Poltergeist though.
Well, Poltergeist doesn't work on Mega Pokemon for a start.
Does it not? I could swear it does.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I've seen
about that.
Poltergeist.
I'm pretty sure it does.
Pokemon.
Because the Mega item counts.
Yeah, because you don't
knockoff doesn't get buffed.
No, because you don't knock the item off.
Okay. All right. So you can use it on Mega Pokemon.
Same as like
That's
you
good.
can't trick it because like you can't impact the item, but Poltergeist doesn't actually interact with the item at all.
They
It just
have
checks if
one.
they have one. Yes, correct.
Okay. I'm giving tweet of the week to Sammy at Mirai is the best for real. The tweet reads as follows. Flying type with extremely fast tailwind / taunt, check. High variance spread move, check. Often used holding a focus sash on offensive team paired with broken fighting type Pokemon released in Gen 8, check. Crutch for bad players, check. This is Tornadus, and it's a pic of Aerodactyl.
This is Tornado.
Yeah.
I got really upset. I was like, how dare you say it's a crutch for bad players? I use Aerodactyl.
I also use Aerodactyl.
I'm
I
glad
too have a son
Aerodactyl is
named
good,
Bort.
to be honest. I enjoy that it is getting used.
Me too. Yay, fossil Pokemon, we need more of it. More fossil Pokemon.
Dracovish, next expansion, please.
Brent, where's the Bastion Mafia when we need them? Come on.
Nah, that can piss off. But
Zamazenta Light.
I've seen one or two like Rampardos Trick Room teams, and I want to get in on that action.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Rampardos was in the game.
Yep.
I didn't realize in the game either. But if you're listening,
Wait, if that's in the game, that means Bastion is in the game,
It
right?
is.
it is in the game, yeah. VGC Discord listeners in our subscriber Discord, help Joel build a Rampardos Trick Room team. You have the way.
No choice band. I don't want to use it.
Well, it's not in the game.
Not yet. But
be added later.
well, it inevitably will, but
If they
how
don't
long
give
is
me
that
my
later?
choice items, I will commit violence. I can't be the hyper offense player that I'm meant to be
without your
without my
choice
life
items.
orb and without my choice specs. Choice band would be nice as well. Unfortunately, I'm out here cooking with fucking soft sand
Soft sand.
and lumberry. You see what they've reduced me to, Joel?
I have been putting bright powder on a lot of things.
I've used Quick Claw, I'm not going to lie.
Quick Claw has fucked me up in several games. I'm like, how fucking dare you?
It has a 20% chance. That's not bad.
It's always, it's not bad. It's always on my short list. One of the first teams I cooked, this was on so the Friday night after it dropped, 2 days after it dropped, I had some people around. You were there, Joel.
yeah.
Chris
I was not better things
wasn't.
to do. I was doing tier slot with Scoot Easy.
Lame.
I
Anyway,
love me some tier slot.
one of the first things I cooked was a Trick Room team using Mega Crabominable, which I loved. I want to revisit Mega Crab.
Yeah.
But I had a torkoal on it. I was like, what item do I put on this? And eventually I decided Quick Claw. So it's like, if I'm out of Trick Room, 20% chance of just Quick Claw Eruption, which went
So
off one time. It
good.
was hype.
Yeah.
But yeah, I completely forgot what I was saying.
I'm not sure. I think Moxie put out a video either today or yesterday, like highlighting some of these less used megas and how to build them. And he had like Crabominal as part of that. So yeah, definitely one that I want to mess around with. I find right now I'm like, I want to get the titles for like specific Pokemon. So like, I want to get like Meowscarada Professor and I want to get like Dragonite Professor. And I even fucking harassed Scoot Easy. I was like, dude, I need the Pikachu team that said got you into Master Ball because I want to get the Pikachu Professor title to put on.
I'm almost definitely going to get the Whimsicott one. I've got a couple of the Hydreigon ones, but I don't think I'm going to get all the way because my most recent team isn't running it.
Yeah.
I remember what I was saying. I did a video with Dan yesterday, and the video was we randomly selected a mega that both of us had to build with, and then we had 30 minutes to build a team in game and fight each other in a best of 3. And I was rushing to get all the Pokemon built and kind of slapped everything together. I rocked up with Bright Powder Rhyperior.
Yes.
It was very funny.
That is a Sebi special if I've ever heard it.
Does that summarize your sex life as well? Just kind of slapped everything together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sex life at the moment is more like Choice Band Dracovish. Doesn't currently exist.
And fishy?
Yes, new video with Dan, which will be up by the time this episode drops.
Nice.
And I know that if I say that, I'll force myself to get it edited and uploaded by Thursday,
Nice.
which means I have to do it tomorrow night because I'm busy Wednesday.
Don't forget to check out Comrade Clown VGC
Yes.
on the YouTubes.
You mean you've been claiming when you were, atting Stephanie Vakia World Women's Champion or whatever it is in WWE,
yeah.
claiming to have 50 subs on Twitter,
I just wanted to impress her.
padding those numbers.
I don't have
Oh yeah,
I-
I'm 6 inches.
context for you, Joel. Yeah.
Got him.
I really am. Context for you, Joel. Yesterday I made a tweet. I was like, at Stephanie Vicaire, do you fuck with Australian Pokemon VGC players with 50 YouTube subs? She hasn't replied, but I'm optimistic.
Yeah. I think you got a good chance, even though I'm pretty sure she's like married to somebody.
Almost definitely.
Yeah,
I'm Googling it now.
The point is that you tried.
you did.
Putting myself
do
out
we have
there,
to change Mark to the professional pick me of the O2 drop then?
I don't know. Not
Well,
yet.
actually, she's Chilean. Do you reckon Diego knows her?
For
It's a small
They're probably
country.
besties.
There's like 14 people there.
Yeah. I know we did, just to quickly go back to the VR tour.
Yes.
You did mention the Korean winner.
I did.
Hyungwoo Shin with, Chard. Charizard Y, Incineroar, Milotic, Sneasler,
It's Charwizard.
Charwizard. Yeah, great. I love that. Venusaur, Garchomp. Should we go through like the rest of the top teams in the top 8?
If you want.
If you want.
They're all the
Pokemon
same.
podcast. Okay, well, like there was some interesting source in this before you poo-pah it. Because
I was going to say, there are like kind of several dual weather teams and dual mega teams in the top 11, I believe.
Yes. Number 2.
Well, I think dual megas. So just before you move on from that, dual megas is pretty common at the moment.
Yes,
because
100%.
there's no better items to run.
No, it's not.
I remember, and I think watching a lot of Moxie boosted videos because that's some of the main VGC content I consume. But a lot of people are saying this, like so many mega Pokemon aren't as good as just running the base form with a Life Orb.
Yeah.
And we don't have Life Orb.
No.
We don't have Choice Band. We don't have Assault Vest. All these different items that you would typically run over a Mega Stone. And it's, first of all, just making these Mega Pokemon more viable in general.
Yeah.
But also it means like if you've already got a Mega Floette and there's another Pokemon that you want to add, sometimes you might just want to give it a Mega Stone.
Yeah.
Because why not? What else are you going to run?
Well, they're running Why Not? Didn't know that was a leak. I thought we didn't have NFEs.
Fuck, you're funny, Chris.
I've seen a bunch of people say that they they just put in Garchomp right on Garchomp because none of the items we have actually benefit Garchomp anyway. So like, why not just maybe click Mega on it once every 100 games?
If your choice scarf is on something else, just run Mega. I've considered it as well. If nothing else, it's incredibly funny. I was running Garchomp and I'm up against someone else's Garchomp. They set Trick Room, Mega their Garchomp. It's now slower than mine and they one-tap me with Dragon Claw.
Why not run?
That's very funny.
Why not run a Yachi Berry? Don't me. Or
is Yachi the ice one?
Yeah, and then
Rosalie's the fairy one.
I mean, you're not surviving like a triple axle anyway. I don't think.
Yes, not for that, but like a ice beam or a ice. I don't know, but also like just like maybe a moonblast. You might survive with the Rosalie berry.
I at the moment I'm running Lumberry on mine. I think White Herb's a good contender if you don't have Sneasler. And Soft Sand is another good option as well.
Or some shit.
Yeah, Rotom. The occasional Scovillain, Venusaur.
I really need to get onto this. I'm really annoyed that I can't really claim that I invented. Oh, you know what? I did. I fucking did. The first time we recorded, I used Scovillain. I invented Scovillain and Wolf stole my team. Probably because Cybertron was spying on me again.
It's unfortunately, I decided not to actually upload the VOD of that recording.
We did do a live stream though.
And exactly. But what I'm saying is that recording is not out there.
Oh, okay. I love how Dan and Alistair get content with you, but like me, no, we'll just bury the tapes.
It
redacted.
By the time I got around to being bothered to edit it, I was like, it's too late for me to be dropping a video of Champions First Log.
Fair enough.
I'll get you on for some actual content at some point.
You can get me off.
We can do a head-to-head video.
You can definitely do that. That'll be some premium content. We'll put that behind a paywall. We can't just put that on your YouTube.
100 subscribers. We'll put it in the calendar.
Yes.
God damn.
Can't wait for that. So second place was, I'm going to full Australian these names. So that way it's not offensive if I insult everybody at once. All right.
Perfect.
George Tabuyo. Congratulations, second place. Charizard, Incineroar, Melodic, Sneasler, Sinistra, and Titar.
I say lots of Spanish players. There was
Spanish.
Top. Yeah, lots of Spanish players in top 11.
Juan Benitez, third place from Spain as well. Charizard, Farigiraf. I'm still not sold on Farigiraf, but we'll see. King Gambit, Sneasler, Whimsicott, Garchomp. Joseph Ugarte, friend of the show, obviously American. Tyranitar, Excadrill, Rotom, Corviknight, Mimikyu, Hydreigon. Fifth place, I want to say it's like Singapore or something, but I'm going to be very wrong about that. It's a Southeast Asian country. Someone help. Jing Jin Hao, Charizard, Incineroar, King Gambit, Torkoal. So it's a hard Trick Room team with Charizard, Farigiraf, and Hatterene. I don't know why Wolfclick says Hatterini. Is it really Hatterini?
I think that's Taiwan.
Taiwan, thank you. Pedro Martinez from Spain, Frostlass, Basculegion, King Gambit, Sneasler, Aerodactyl, Garchomp. It was a nice team, I like that. Although, because of King Gambit and stuff, right, running Mega Frostlass has become such a fucking hazard now. Also, they can switch in T-Tar and then the Excadrill just one-shots it as well. I don't know. It's just, for Mega Frostlass, it ain't what it was day one. 7th place, Francesco Iozia from Italy. Charizard, Incineroar, Milotic, Sneasler, Sinister, Scizor.
Huge.
So he can make it top 8 in a VR tour, 1,000 plus players. Why can't you with Scizor?
Because King Gambit worked better for my team in particular.
All right, fair enough. 8th place, William Brown from America, Meganium, Farigiraf, King Gambit, Sneasler, Aerodactyl, Basculesian. That's a good team. I think I like that team. Maybe I'll just round out the rest of the 11 that I haven't said. That was the top 8. We had Marcus Coe. He's the Dondozo Weezing player. Marcus Coe.
Did you say Kona and Yoshikawa?
Oh no, I've skipped him. I don't know what they found. I'm just doing like the rest of the top 11.
No.
Incineroar, Floette, Sinister, Aerodactyl, Scizor, Sneasler. We had Conan Yoshikawa from Japan. It's a very unusual first name, Conan, for a Japanese player. Charizard.
Yeah, it's a lot like Alistair.
Yeah, Alistair. Fake Japanese. Alistair, Floette, Garchomp, King Gambit, Aerodactyl, Basculesian. A lot of Aerodactyl. It's very cool. And then the last 11th person was Pablo Rico from Spain, I think our 5th Spanish player or something. That was Garchomp, Floette, Aerodactyl. AG Slash got a finish in the top 11.
Sure did.
Rotom, Wash, and Incineroar. I just dropped my phone on the microphone and then dropped the microphone. I'm doing great.
Nice.
But there's a lot of Incineroar, a lot of a surprising amount of Milotic, a lot of Aerodactyl, a lot of Sneasler, a lot of Sand, a lot of Charizard Y. So yeah, if you need your good mons.
And then the players in the top 16 who still got paid, so they had good resistances, Francesco Razzanini, Aaron Brock, Kiyoshiro Arai, Mikhail Kelsch, and Tola Webb making up the top 16 for that.
Do we want to talk about something that came out recently about gender equality in the Pokemon community?
Absolutely.
So it was Cecilily.
Cecilily, I believe, yeah.
Dropped a video about the lack of women in competitive Pokemon. I have a lot to say. This could be the moment that gets me cancelled. This could be it.
Oh,
this
good. Here we go.
It.
Chris has opinions about women.
No. No, I'm not going to just slag women and get out of it because I'm gay. I'm not going to try that card. I've done that before. I'm not going to do it again. So I saw this, and you guys we had some discourse in our podcaster panelist group chat.
We did.
So do you want to set the scene as to what it was about?
Cecilily's video specifically.
Oh yeah, just what the takeaways from that was.
Yeah, so main takeaways were sort of talking about the representation of women and non-binary conforming people in competitive Pokemon, not necessarily
non-gender conforming people.
Sorry, non-gender conforming people. Their representation in competitive, not necessarily like the community as whole, but in competitive. And some big takeaways from the video were Cecilily spoke to several YouTube content creators with 100,000 plus subscribers and asked them to give them their gender breakdown. And that ranged from 92 to 98% male in the content creators she asked, and she didn't out any of them. She had a look at the VGC qualification board for Worlds and stated that there was like 4 obviously female names that had qualified for Worlds so far. Mm-hmm. She did make statement that there's a lot of gender neutral names in there, so you can't tell straight away just by the name, but this is specifically obviously feminine names on the leaderboard. And I had another point that was prevalent, but I have forgotten it. A lot of stuff about safe spaces for women.
Yeah.
I think Zoe raised an excellent point that I hadn't really considered previously, where she spoke about trying to travel to regionals. And over the past couple of regionals, I have started just booking my own accommodation just because I've really enjoyed having my own space, but it's not particularly cost effective. And previously, for a lot of regionals, we've kind of done group bookings. When we went to Brisbane, there were 4 of us in one room. We've previously had what we've referred to as a sweat pad, which is basically just like a bunch of us all in one big Airbnb.
As many people as we can fit.
Yeah, like
couches.
We're talking about 10 people in a 4-bedroom place, and a couple of people paying slightly less to sleep on couches. Big group bookings, right? Good way to save a bunch of money, good way to travel.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun when you're not going to be in the hotel room very much.
Yeah, 100%. when you are a woman in the community trying to get involved in a big booking, and sometimes it'll be you and a bunch of men, and a lot of women don't really want that, which is understandable.
Yeah.
So it's making like travel for events less accessible.
Yeah.
Which is something I hadn't really considered, but it's a good point that was raised. I feel like when I was watching the video, I was kind of expecting for them and hoping for them to talk a bit more about early introductions, like from a young age, whether or not women have been introduced to gaming.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time, due to society and parental pressures, and even gatekeeping within young children, which happens like, you're a girl, you can't play with us. Because I know that certainly happened when I was a kid.
Yeah, 100%.
That from a young age, women are kept out of the community, out of gaming, and it's not really become an interest for them as they get to, our ages.
Get back in the kitchen. Just the looks that I got from you two.
Oh my God.
You didn't present it sarcastic enough.
Sorry.
For it to be, this is what they get told.
Well,
it was. It just felt a bit too genuine.
I didn't put some like aggressive name calling at the end of the sentence.
No.
I was just doing like, this is like the message that like society has for women. It wasn't not me expressing any opinion.
It's not even necessarily that level of sexism. It's just more of like, this is a boy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And girls have their dolls.
Yeah, I mean, or other things. There are.
I'm just giving examples. Stop.
You're delivering it with so much genuinity.
I do have an opinion. Don't worry. This is not my opinion.
Yeah, there's, essentially throughout most stages of their life, women are less likely to be introduced and encouraged into those things. So I think right from the get-go, there's fewer women actually wanting to get into competitive Pokemon because they're not involved in Pokemon as much because they weren't raised on Pokemon like a lot of men have been.
Yeah.
I do think that is changing over time. And I think Champions, because it's going to bring in a lot of casual fans, a lot of whom are women.
Yeah.
Like I reckon if we look at people who consume Pokemon as a whole, outside of competitive Pokemon.
Consume the product.
Would be at a much more even gender split.
Yeah.
And so if Champions is bringing in a lot of casual fans, it stands to reason proportionally it's bringing in a lot of women.
I'm still skeptical, but yeah.
A lot more women than we currently have.
Yes.
And I mean, based on the numbers that we've got, if 10% of the new players who come in are women, that is still going to increase the total proportion of women entering in the scene as a whole.
Yeah.
Did Cecilily go into like how to increase the number of like female Pokemon competitive players, like suggestions about what we could do as a community?
So that there was discussion. A lot of what they spoke about was sisterhood side events.
Yeah.
So those are events specifically for women to get involved and compete in side events, just to kind of create that space to encourage women to get more involved in the competitive scene.
And an opportunity for them to meet like-minded women as well, so that they can, start generating like a clique.
Yeah, 100%. Because I think that's something they kept bringing up as one of the main barriers for entry is actually having that little sub-community, your own clique, your own friendship group. It goes back to what Zoe was saying about having a group to travel with.
Yeah.
Just having some people in the community with whom you can get along and feel safe and comfortable. Obviously, we've got so many women in the scene, obviously not proportionally, but there's a lot of women in the scene who are good friends and they've found their community with all the men with whom they play.
Yeah.
And that's great, and that's not an issue. But even for them, I know sometimes, it would be good for them to have a space with other women. Like I know women who are good friends with all the men they play with, but they've had issues when it comes to like traveling and staying with other men. There's been kind of like issues and conflicts there due to the gender and getting hit on or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just nice to be around like-minded people. I know personally as well, if I wasn't like introduced to and made friends and knew people already after I played my first regionals in Perth back in 2020, I don't know if I would have stuck around and remained involved properly in the VGC community.
Yeah,
like having that
100%.
community that to actually play with and be friends with is so important to player retention.
I agree.
And so I
100%.
think that's something that they raise a lot is like, how do we get more women to form these communities with other women? And then, once they start to develop these friendship groups, then hopefully those friendship groups exist so that new women joining the scene have that sort of space that they can be a part of as well. So that was my take on what they were describing as the main thing to encourage a higher density of women within the scene. I don't know if you had a different one, and I also didn't watch the last 5 minutes. So maybe in the last 5 minutes, they spoke a lot about like, here's everything we need to do to fix it, and I just missed that. But
no, not quite in the last 5 minutes, no. I think two things from me to support that. I think if you look at the gender diversity in the juniors and seniors that are coming up through it, especially in Australia, I can't speak for other regions because I haven't been there. The proportion of, upcoming women in masters is going to be a lot bigger because the gender diversity that you see in junior seniors is a lot closer to like 60-40.
that's awesome.
Maybe even 50-50 in those like lower age brackets.
And
So we as adults just have to continue to make that space safe for all of them to continue playing and come up through. And from a personal perspective, I know that having a group that you play Pokemon with is very important because I left Pokemon for the first time because the group I was with deteriorated.
yeah.
And I was basically like a lone person in Pokemon. I was like, well, this fucking sucks. I don't want to be here anymore. And that happened to me in like 2016. I was like, I'm pretty good on this community now. I'm a bail.
Here's my take on it. Because like I actually
Great. Thanks
So I
for sharing,
said-
Chris. That's all we've got time
so
for.
I said, where's my dinner? And it wasn't
Holy shit. Okay, yeah.
So
What's your actual take?
my actual take, I know that there's been a few bad eggs in the Pokemon community over the years. We always call them out on this podcast.
Yeah.
Because,
We certainly try
for
to,
like
yeah.
harassing behavior online, harassing behavior in person. And it's not just on women, it's also on men as well.
I'll just
But-
quickly take that time to shout. That was like a pretty significant incident that we called out, which I think goes back to like women getting accommodation.
Yeah.
Like even not just getting like accommodation with strangers, but like with men that they supposedly trust.
Yeah.
There's still going to be issues with that.
I just want to like vouch for the Pokemon community. I'm really hoping that this video, because I haven't actually watched it, you guys have. It wasn't just like a hit piece on the community saying
Oh, no,
how
not even
not at all.
sexist and
not
unsafe
even
it is.
remotely.
Okay, good.
It was just like commentary on like, it wasn't even, it made zero reference as well to any incidents that have happened.
Yeah.
It was more like
The closest,
creating safe environments and safe situations.
I think the closest it came to them specifically calling stuff out was when they spoke about Zoe winning an international championships back in 2017.
Yeah.
There was a question like, how was that received by the community? And people made some comments about social media.
Yeah.
And Zoe's like, well, the good thing was I actually wasn't on social media at the time. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's probably a good place to be as a woman winning a major video game event.
Not on
Yeah, it's
social
just
media.
not on
people
social
get really
media.
vulgar in the comments.
And I think
Hey.
social media is it's just one of the worst things when it comes to preventing women from it. As a man, this is my perception of it. Social media is dreadful for making the scene feel very uninviting because it's always the loudest, shittest voices that get elevated.
Yeah,
And if
because
you go to an in-person
they
event,
drive
you're going to have
clicks.
well, yeah, sure. But I mean, even if you ignore the algorithm, it's just, they're the people who are more likely to be opinionated.
yeah, 100%.
If you go to an in-person event as a woman, and again, this is my outside perception of it, but I feel like you're going to run into fewer issues than if you're a woman existing on Twitter in the Pokemon space.
Yeah, 100%.
I've already sort of hinted this in the group chat earlier. My thoughts on this initially was like, well, hang on. Traditionally, and I'm not saying this is a good tradition or not, I'm just saying traditionally competitive gaming is just a very male-orientated activity. And it's because, yes, you grow up, the teenage boys are locked in their basement dungeon, whatever, like playing Xbox all day, and the girls are not. Like, that's just, I don't know why it's encouraged to be that way or why it's allowed to be that way. But if you look at things like games like Call of Duty, you look at Fortnite, like any, what are all those first person shooter games that are like really big and popular, right?
Yeah.
I just don't do women like playing games where you're shooting people in the head and stuff like that? I know it's not about Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Because I have two sisters One of them doesn't play video games at all and never has.
Rookie.
And one of them, Claire, shout out if you're listening, one of them does play video games, and she does play quite a lot of video games still to this day. She plays Harry Potter. She plays horse riding games where you have to like find horses and pet them and feed them and whatever.
She plays Red Dead Redemption.
I don't know. Not the one that's not your like a weird horsey girl one. No, not that one.
No, that's Uma Musume.
But she plays like, and like she does buy the Pokemon games and plays like the solo player, like, and she plays like, probably Pokopia and stuff like that, Animal Crossing, all that sort of game, right? The farming games.
The games that are
happy
socially
animal
acceptable
games.
for women, yeah.
No, but no, that's no one stopped Claire from ever going and buying a violent game or a highly competitive game.
Other than the people that have microphones and would see her username and give her shit for hours on end.
There's
for being
part
a
of
woman
that. There's
playing
also
a
just
shitty game.
the social expectation. We could go into the nature and nurture thing, but we have zero data for this. At least I don't.
I don't either. So
I'm not going to sit here and say none of it is to do with nature. I'm not going to sit here and say, there's absolutely zero. None of this is coming from, an innate difference in the genders. But what I will say is we have a demonstration of how a lot of that is still likely to do with our upbringing, because we can actually compare that to today. Joel, you mentioned the younger generations, juniors and seniors, have a much higher density of women. And that's because women in the newer generation, social perception is shifting. It's becoming more socially acceptable for women to play these video games as well. And now that they're not being discouraged out of it, they're being given the same opportunities to enjoy these games, to play them and to take part in them. Yeah. We're seeing, a far more equal representation within these gaming communities. And I think that's a very clear demonstration that a lot of it has come down to social, because if we were having this conversation 15 years ago and we're talking about not just competitive Pokemon, but Pokemon in general, it's like, why don't women like video games as much? I can almost guarantee someone will be sitting there saying, it's like, well, I just think, women don't enjoy video games as much as men. Like, I've got 100%. A sister and she doesn't play video games. So yeah, maybe, inherently women are less keen on violent video games. Maybe there is a testosterone thing there. Sure. Like I said, I'm not going to say that's definitely not the case at all, but I do think we definitely shouldn't put too much stock in saying, it's women are just less likely to want to be a part of it, because this was actually brought up as well. I think Cecilily raised the point where she's just like, someone's going to oversimplify this in the comment and say it's not that deep. Men are just more competitive than women. Yeah. And she's like, even if that is true, 90 to 95% men to 5 to 10% women is still a drastic misrepresentation. So even if a realistic amount is 60%, 40%. Even if men are just inherently more likely to want to take part in these events, to want to compete, to want to do more of these things than women are, sure, it might be that, a perfect representation in the Pokemon scene is actually skewed towards men, but it would be like 60-40, not 95-5.
Yeah.
I think there's got to be something in the psychology of it. You said something about testosterone or whatever, and maybe it's I think it's a type of game. I think we're slightly missing the point here. Like, you go down and to a Pokemon TCG card game event, or a Magic the Gathering card game event, or one of the other card game events, and it's like 50% women.
I would say the Pokemon TCG from TCGs that I have seen definitely has a better ratio of women playing than other TCGs.
But
maybe with the exception of like Lorcana.
I don't think that's purely to do with how much women enjoy it. I think it's purely to do with how much women have been raised to enjoy it. And I think taking part in trading card games has at least somewhat been more socially acceptable across both genders, as opposed to video games, which are more skewed towards men. And again, if we look at newer generations and the juniors and seniors having a much higher representation of women, I just think that clearly demonstrates that it has been a society thing.
Yeah.
And that as society shifts, we are just getting a higher representation.
It's the same with female, women in sport, right? They're constantly growing that. Like, there we've got, women's cricket team, women's AFL football team, women's rugby team. It's always been male dominated sports, women's soccer team, women's, everything like that. And that's become, I think it's becoming more socially acceptable for women to be competitive, to be fighting for those wins, getting that dopamine rush when they beat someone. It is becoming more acceptable, but I think, it's probably a generational thing.
I'll also say as well, my first ex was rated top 20 in Australia on COD, I think, or something like that. Like she was a very skilled, high rated Call of Duty player. My second ex, Diamond, rated on Overwatch, and we played Fortnite together. So I think a lot of women I know who actually play video games, they enjoy FPS shooter games as much as men do.
Yeah, I mean, well, Gabby Snyder was on that video, and she made the comment that she purposely changed her username to be more androgynous to draw less attention to herself as being a woman so that she could just play games.
Yeah, I mean...
And I think... at least my experience is that there's less of that these days. Yep. I have, however, and I do watch a lot of content of people playing games and getting harassed by men still, and more prevalent in shooters. Take what you will from that, but...
I don't want to take away from what you're saying. I don't want to sit here and say we should ignore sexism in the video gaming scene, because absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
I'm not going to sit here and say that's not a problem, but I do actually think it's deeper than that. I think a lot of women aren't even hitting the lobby in the first place.
Yeah.
Like they're not even reaching the point where they can receive that sexism to subsequently be put off the game.
Yeah, well,
and I think that's a deeper, more social thing that has nothing to do with how they're treated once they actually arrive at the game. I think how they're treated when they arrive is in itself a product of this massive societal thing we've had about women playing video games in general, which is certainly perpetrated and exacerbated and contributed to by all these, horribly misogynistic, dreadful people online. Yeah. Absolutely, that doesn't help at all. But I think, if we try to put the blame purely on these bad people, it's very easy to do because we can say, well, we're great. We treat women with respect. We're not horrible misogynists online.
Yeah.
We are not the problem. We don't have to worry about this. And I think it's an oversimplification, and we can't forget that there's so many other issues that can be addressed outside of just curate all the cunts out of the community.
Yeah, 100%. Like my wife, for example, anecdotally,
you didn't say it right.
I have.
Thank you.
She doesn't play open lobby games at all anymore because she did it all through her teenage years and young adult years and just copped so much crap from men in terms of hitting on sexism and, she says the worst part of playing a game, not the sexism and not getting hit on, men deciding that you need help to the game and then just giving you all end game content when you go in and play a game and doing the white knight shit. So
how romantic.
I think
she just wants to play games, and she will only play closed lobby games with close friends now. So
to be honest, I think sexism in the gaming community is its own conversation that needs to happen another time. Yeah. And like I said, I actually think it's separate to this conversation. It's related, obviously, but your wife, like you said, she loves playing games. Mm-hmm. She was already in the gaming community to subsequently then understand how horribly she should be treated as a woman within that community. I think the issue that we are looking at here in this conversation is the fact that women aren't even in the gaming community to begin with.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think, the first question is how do we get these women to decide they want to be part of these communities? And then the next question is, okay, now that the women are here, how do we stop the fucking trolls and goblins and horrendous individuals in the community from subsequently forcing those women out again? And 100% a conversation to be had, but I actually think it's somewhat unrelated to this conversation.
Yeah.
Can I have one final point before we...
Yeah, we should probably wrap up.
The Gabby Snyder thing about her making an androgynous username so that she wouldn't be as identifiable as female and get bullied online, right?
Yeah.
The issue I see with that is if people do that, it makes them less visible to the female players who are wanting to get into the game, who want to have their be able to identify with other high profile female gamers, have them as their idols, form online presence with these female players,
parasocial relationships.
I'm trying not to talk about parasocial.
Start making creepy comments on them online, just like men do about Wolfie.
I'm not talking about lesbian stalkers. I'm talking about just saying if everyone hides their female identity in the online gaming space, how are female players going to feel that it's acceptable for them to play if they can't see quickly? Oh yeah, there's other women playing this sport.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes back to the main thing that the women, the people who actually have thoughts and opinions on this outside of us just mansplaining about how to fix sexism.
Yeah.
But what the women in this video were talking about was it comes back to women are more likely to enter the space when they see there's other women in the community. So I think you've actually got a point there.
Yeah.
But what that point exactly looks like, I'm not sure. Obviously, we shouldn't be blaming Gabby for the fact that she's changed her name so that she herself could feel more comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a tough one. And there's parts for all of us to play in creating a more gender diverse gaming environment, for sure.
I blame Ethan.
Yeah, fuck Ethan. Why are we blaming Ethan?
Because he stopped dressing up as, in like
in
drag basically to Pokemon events, and
Yeah,
did he
if
not
he started doing that, he'd
presence?
fix sexism.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need more
We get a
more cross dressing at Pokemon events. Subscribers, please.
An idea for our next O2 drop shirt.
Oh no!
Sounds like a terrible idea.
It is a terrible idea.
You want Christine Cuisine to
Also,
Christine Cuisine.
It's my drag name. The buffet
awesome.
is open.
I love that. I also just want to make a quick comment. And I know some people say this mostly as a bit. Some people say it with some amount of earnest. The whole idea is like, yeah, we need to get more women in the community because it's a sausage fest and we want to meet more women who we can date. It's not fucking helping.
No. No.
Part of the reason women avoid spaces like this is because they get relentlessly hit on when they join.
Yeah.
And even like as a joke, and I'm probably guilty of it myself because I've used the word sausage fest to describe the community many, many, many times.
Yeah.
But I think it's got the connotation, like sausage fest has a connotation of not enough women I can hit on.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think that's something as a community, if we're kind of assessing how we as men can maybe make the space more accessible, I think like avoiding comments and jokes like that.
Yeah.
Probably
100%.
a good start.
Yeah.
Because, when you see these conversations happening, you get a lot of guys and they're well-meaning and they are trying to encourage and improve the ratio within the community. They will say things like, yeah, I'm just tired of being surrounded by all these ugly dudes, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And
it is
comments like that, they don't help.
It's one of those like, I don't know if microaggression is the right terminology, but it's in that vein of like an accumulation of little comments that make the space uncomfortable. Yes, I think the goal is to have a diverse community because diversity gives you a range of people with a range of ideas and experiences, and it's in more just enjoyable and is it uplifting? Yeah, just diversity is great because more people from more places, from more backgrounds, all that stuff.
And if you do have a sausage and you want me to hit on you, let me know.
Because Chris will.
I will shamelessly flirt with anybody.
Oh, but yes, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. As always, we appreciate everyone tuning in. Shout out to the US of A, now our number one country for listens.
Crazy.
USA.
It's like 40% or
USA.
something? 48%?
Yeah, 40% on our most recent episode mainline. So thanks for that, USA. Thanks for adopting the O2 drop.
Yeehaw!
And if you are
Sorry, was that a microaggression?
and if you are an
Only for Texas.
if you're an international listener and you actually play competitive Pokemon and you want to be on the show, reach out to us because we will get anyone on.
I don't know if we should stop saying that because we're at the point where we kind of have standards. And we've got people who want to be on the show who would contribute nothing.
Well, if we have you on every week, surely we can have anyone.
I'm allowed. I got grandfathered in because I was here for the start.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just here because you haven't figured out how to get rid of me.
Look,
Also because you keep using my house.
do
And
go
Alistair
back.
and Kieran were busy.
Do go back through our catalog because we have had some amazing guests,
Huge.
Some of the
including
top players in the world. You were reading out the list of everyone who's on the top of the leaderboard at the moment. I was doing mental catalog. It's like, yep, they've been on,
Yeah.
had them on the show.
We do need to get. There's a few top names we need to work away on. We need to.
look. What would you call Moxie? Top 5 for known within VG.
He's like the third
He might
biggest
be third biggest
VGC
VG
YouTuber, I believe.
Yeah.
He's well known, not like competitive result, just for being like a personality.
Yeah. We've had
That's my goal, because I'm certainly not going to get success from being good at the game.
Yeah.
You know, we've had Moxie, we've had Joe UX9, we've had Brady Smith, we've had Marcus Dion,
Paul Chua, Gabriella Gardi, Joseph Ugarte.
We're going to be here all day if we start naming all the big names we've had.
Yeah.
We've had a lot.
Go back through our catalog. It's a good catalog. Some of our old episodes are pretty
Justin
shit.
Tang.
Be ready
Justin
for
Tang.
that. Justin Tang, the Hahn brothers.
We have
Some good shit
Diego
there.
Ferreira.
Yeah. Lots of Australian names. We need to get a few more this year. And we will do it, even with the shitty time zones of when the East Coast is 3 hours ahead of us.
Is there any
2 hours now.
2 hours currently.
Yeah. Daylight savings has fucked off. Thank you, Joel.
You're welcome. Anyway, always consider how you can be a better person in the community. It's probably a minor takeaway from the end of this episode.
Also, shout out to us, because we've got, 13% of our listener base is women?
15, actually.
Yeah, so we're doing pretty well.
We are above average.
Yeah, we must be doing something right.
Yeah.
Although I do happen to know for a fact that a lot of our listeners just like listening to us yap and don't play the game.
Yeah.
So
Which, you know,
we take
that's
those.
chill.
To our female listeners, Mark is now single.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I mean, it's true.
We talk about it for 30 minutes and then
They might be so impressed with Mark's dulcet tones on the podcast every week that they actually genuinely want him to hit on them.
It's very possible. My ex I met in the Pokemon community, and she made the first move.
Nice.
Because I'm basically never going to make the first move in a nerd community like this one, because I know how prevalent women getting hit on is.
The stigma of it as well.
Yeah, I'm also just like, I just don't like, if I'm hitting on a woman I find attractive in the community, I'm going to be like the 10th person that night, right? Like, it's like, I don't want to contribute to that.
How like subtle or like obvious do they have to be? Like, are we talking like Amy,
Decently
like,
obvious.
just like cleavage in your face?
Pretty oblivious. I'm pretty good at picking up on signs, but I've got a shit ton of self-doubt. So I'll pick up on what is very obviously a sign. It's like, if I'm looking at this objectively, this is definitely a sign that they're into me.
So,
however, I'm insecure, so they're probably just being friendly.
Okay, so what if they've got like
a photo of her boobs on my screen? It's like, she's being neighborly.
If they're walking up to you like at an event and they've got like a placard that says like, you know, date me, Mark. Like that'll be obvious enough.
I'll definitely ask about it.
That could be a meme. You never know.
I'll ask what it means.
Could be.
So what's with the placard?
Is it me? Is there another Mark? Is it me? Am I the Mark?
It's a common
Murray?
name. Could be anyone, yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much as always. Do feel free to leave comments on our thoughts. And, you know, if you feel that we are misguided in any way, then please guide us. We appreciate feedback in all forms. Until next time, friends.